Reef fam, what is, look at this
He's got beautiful, I don't have,
you know, such good grown men are 5 years old. Very, very pretty. What are they gonna eat?
I can eat coffee coming that makes a big difference. Formalin dips.
And if anyone is looking for some,
One that is a series system like this, we have a bunch of unique inverts that nobody else will have. That's how we found the Donald Duck shrimp on a reliable, regular.
Reef fam, what is going on? March here, Fragbox TV. Today we're going to do the farm tour of, are we in Burlington? Milton?
We're right on the property line. If you move 5 feet over, you're in Milton, but otherwise we're Burlington.
We're in the middle of nowhere. We're with Patrick. We're at Reef Wholesale, but it's nice up here. It's nice to get out of the city, nice and quiet, and I want to show you.
No more airports.
No airports, no nothing. It's peaceful. You would not expect to find, how many gallons total in this building?
I have absolutely no idea.
Guesstimate.
10,000.
10,000.
I have no idea.
Okay, I want to just get this out of the way before we go because this is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. I know Patrick pretty well for the past 10 years, so I can tell you with pretty, like 100% certainty, the guy's not on drugs. Now, if you told me about what he did, I'd be like, wow, this guy's on really good drugs. But this guy, kids don't do drugs. There was a pool. What was here in the floor?
This was a dog rehab center before we took it. So everything was well insulated. This was a giant pool running the length of the full room.
I'm standing inside the pool.
We're in the pool technically. So we cut the walls out of the pool here. And then we made a bridge that goes across. And this is so that we can do the sumps below grade.
This is so Indonesian. This is like underground sumps. It's the only place I've seen that.
This keeps the tanks, well, the tanks being below grade means they stay cool in the summer. And then to stay warm in the winter, we have a boiler that we put in, and we ran a hot line and a cold line, which is this, and then we put in titanium coils.
Oh.
So the titanium coils have a solenoid that's sitting up here and turns on and off with the apex.
See what I mean, guys?
And then
don't do drugs.
It's a double redundancy because we also run the ink birds. And we just installed 2 solenoids in case one failed on this one. So we're just playing around with that a little bit.
And these are your fish. Maybe I didn't introduce well enough. I just assume you guys know who Patrick is and Reef Wholesale because, you know, we travel together, we do videos together across Europe. He's Canada's largest livestock wholesaler when it comes to fish, corals, also distributor of Ecotech, the producer and maker of Atoll products, distributes Two Little Fishies, distributes lots of brands. Yeah, lots of different brands. I would say this is really, though, what brings me back is fish, and then I'm going to take you over to the other side, the corals. If there's a fish in the ocean, you will find it in here. Wholesale only, so you're not going to be able to buy anything unless you have a store, but what we do offer, it's really smart, what these guys have done is they have a site called reefwholesale.com. You can go on it. You can see everything they have in stock without the actual price, and then you can say, hey March, I want, what kind of lionfish is that?
Radiata, that's a radiata.
I want a radiata lionfish, or I want, you know, one of these, and then we can special order. We can bring it in for you. They drip it, they climatize it. Everything here is going through a pretty rigorous treatment of, you want to talk the meds? I think you know a little bit better than I do.
These 2 are our incoming systems. So everything new that it comes in and goes in here. We run copper in here. We run filter socks to catch the leftover food. We run the marine pure blocks for filtration. 100% UV pass-through on these systems. And we run carbon GFO, you can see over here, and we have a special ammonia absorbing resin that's in there as well. We monitor pH, ORP, and temperature, right, on our Neptune. And yeah, so these are kept at 1.018 for salinity. The copper sits around 1.5 to 1.6.
How long are they going to sit in here before they move over to another system?
Usually about a week. So usually before we move them out of here, we're formalin dips. And then we move them to our holding systems, which is this system, and then we have the same thing on the other side.
Do you have any tips for success on Moorish idols for anyone that's watching and wants to try this elusive, beautiful fish?
Feed. Don't put them with other fish when they're new. Keep them separate. Get them eating before you introduce them to other fish. So we can get these eating, I would say 80 to 90. If they sit around here for 2 to 3 weeks, we have them eating every time.
And why freshwater formalin dip?
That's so that you're going to be killing off external parasites.
Like
flukes, skin flukes, eye flukes, gill flukes. There's, I think, 1,700 types of flukes. And basically, you're going to kill everything that's external on them, right?
Oh, these are such a helpful.
You notice that we
fish.
keep almost everything totally separate.
Very
and when
different.
we don't, then you do pay a penalty. So look at the coral beauty on the far end. He's with a Melanaris. All the other coral beauties were fine, but that Melanaris was a jerk and then tore up his fins a bit. So we prefer if they're actually totally separate, but you know, sometimes you put two of them together. But this is something that stores don't really do. They'll put, you know, 50 or 100 fish together, and somebody's always going to get picked on.
Yeah. Any successful or any tips for success with copper band? Because this is a
cover bands are really hard now.
Cover
bands used to be very easy. I would say that they're much harder now. I don't know why we didn't used to have problems with them and why they're hard now. It makes a big difference.
It's such a nice fish. Useful fish though, like if you're dealing with aptasia, if you can get a healthy one, this will take care of most aptasia issues.
Get them eating on its own first. So keep them in like a refugium or quarantine, get it to eat first, and then introduce it to other fish.
Oh
right?
my god, these guys are so cute.
Yeah, we also have lots of small lions. Everybody has smaller tanks these days. So we're trying to accommodate for that and get smaller and smaller fish, you know, so they can go in some nice reef casas, of course.
Oh, a little bit of a plug there. Now, these yellow watchman gobies, are they schooling fish? Are they just having an orgy? What's going on? Are they nervous?
This is just because they just came in. So basically after today, we'll move them all out and keep them all totally separate, right? We prefer them to be separate, but we with the fuel problems these days, we had to accept an incoming shipment on a Thursday, which is our big pack out day. So things haven't been put away yet and haven't gone as separate as we generally like to keep them.
I want to give these tanks here a little shout out because these are actually
these are from you. Yeah, these are your tanks.
These are over 13, 14 years old. My original tanks that I built.
Yep.
Used them at home. They're 2 by 8 by 8 inches. And I remember when I took the rock out of my tank and did this, I was so upset. I was thinking about taking the whole tank down, but it holds water.
I actually took it and I just used a diamond file, and you can see it's nice and smooth now. And there was like a spider crack starting, and we just filed it off with a hand file.
It's like nothing happened.
Now it's fine.
It's
and
fine.
This is wholesale, so if you don't look that close, it looks perfect.
What are you feeding these fishies? Because we keep talking about food and how important it is for Moorish idols and get them eating.
Yep.
But what are they actually eating?
So we feed fish roe is one of the foods that we feed. We feed a
Reef nutrition?
Reef nutrition, and actually like a sushi grade eggs.
Patrick is also the distributor for Reef Nutrition in Canada. We're going to get to this side in a second. If you're more into the corals and skip ahead later into the video, this is going to be the coral section. That's how he has it separated. Corals on this side, and then this crazy, I cut the pool out. I don't know how he cut this concrete. Look how thick it is. That must have been a very fun job. So you find this in our store. You can basically find this in any store. There's Arctipods, Tigerpods, Beta Brine, Mysis, Live Phytos, ROE. I really like these two. Personally, for smaller fish, these things, awesome. The pods are not alive.
Yep.
Fish don't know the difference though. I've seen mandarins even eat it. If you want to get them trained, that's the one you want to look for.
They more naturally will go to these two foods first.
Yeah.
The claim to fame on this one, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that the beta is for beta carotene. So the beta carotene acts as a big color enhancer. So if you can get them to eat this, it does mean that they color up a lot quicker.
I thought
brine is more like candy though, right? So when you're feeding it to them, there's not a lot of nutritional value in this. So these would be your staples. But because it's enriched with beta carotene, it does really enhance the coloration on the fish.
If anyone is looking for some, I think they're Gen 3s, just looking at the fan.
Gen 4s.
Gen 4 radions.
Gen 4s.
Patrick has a little pile of
we inspect
XR15s.
them, we open them, we check them. You can see there's not a lot of heat scoring around the LED. The pucks are good. You know, we just try to provide people with a nice, honest opinion on if they're good or not.
Beautiful. What are you doing? Like, I know you're kind of like me. As soon as one project finishes, you have 2 or 3 already in the pipeline. So what's happening over here? I see an empty tank. What's cooking up in the brain?
This we're setting up a fish treatment area. So I just used an old tank, a couple old tanks from the old shop. We're gonna plumb this together probably over the weekend, and then basically this will be a little medicated dipping station. So instead of doing like a 7-minute freshwater formalin bath, we'll be able to do a 1-hour formalin bath, different concentrations.
Okay.
But this will be a little treatment area that basically we can keep all the fish totally separate, and just lets us treat fish at a little bit greater volume than what we're doing.
Can stores in the U.S. buy from you if somebody's watching in the States and wants to order fish?
We're getting a broker set up so that we can start sending to the United States right now.
And if you had maybe one word of advice, if I'm a store watching, I'm looking to get in fish, or I've been struggling with fish, if you had maybe one sort of success tip that you could share with someone?
Yeah.
I need UV. I don't need UV. They got to be separate. The tank's got to be big, low salinity, hyper, copper. You know, like.
You gotta run copper, okay?
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. You do need to feed. So we feed 5 to 8 times per day. Basically, people are constantly feeding and siphoning tanks, and keep them separate if you can. It's not required, but it will really increase the volume of fish that you can hold. So copper, test alkalinity.
Even for fish.
Even for fish. Absolutely.
I would never think to test alkalinity for fish. How come?
Yeah. Well, the bacteria that converts ammonia also uses alkalinity. So if you're not testing your alkalinity, you're going to find that your alkalinity drops like really, really low into the 4s, and then you get ammonia spikes, and then you get burns on fish that you can't explain. And then you think that you have a disease or urinema, but it's actually ammonia burn because you weren't testing the alkalinity. And you won't test the ammonia because basically it cycles where you get a minor spike, and then stuff dies, it burns the fish, and it's too low to really test.
How long have you been importing, wholesaling, selling fish in Canada?
We've been doing fish for probably 12 years around.
And then how long in the industry business on this side?
Around 20 years.
Yeah. So a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
What was that place we went to in Amsterdam, the really big one?
Diong is the incredible one.
And
they are the inspiration.
How many times a day were they feeding their fish that they were breeding?
Feeding constantly as well.
I think it was 14.
They were running copper all the time as well. They inspired us. They had a tray, and then they would take their thawed food, and then the tray was over ice packs because they actually discovered they were getting bacteria on the food if they left it out. We put the food back in, we have a walk-in, not a walk-in, but a glass door fridge, so in between feeding, we put it back in the fridge, so we don't leave it out.
Little things like that make a difference.
There's very small details that you don't know about.
Small details. Talk to me about this, because this is really such a cool fish system with such a small footprint that you're able to house.
This is to maximize basically your square footage and the revenue you can generate.
It's just incredible.
We design these, and then we have these made in China, but that lets us get very, very thick acrylic. So this is like 3/4 inch thick acrylic here. The other one is 1/2 inch acrylic. We tried 3/8 acrylic on this one. We found the perfect depth of the teeth and gap and size of the teeth so that you can maximize the flow rate going across.
So if I want one of these, I'm a store. Can I order one from you? Can you ship me one?
We can order these for you and bring them in. We also make one that is like a tiered. So these are really, really old. These are sitting around 25, 30 years old. One that is a tiered system like this, but has much thicker acrylic. So this is very thin acrylic. And then what you find on these is teeth get broken out. And as soon as teeth get broken out, they're pretty well useless.
Can you customize them if I want something bigger, smaller?
Yeah, we can. We've already figured out the right sizes. So a lot of the time, like when you look at this one, you'll notice that these have double cubes here. And this is to allow you to put your bigger fish in here, or a school of small fish. This week, this was used for picking orders, so you see the names going across the side.
How many fish would fit safely, comfortably, healthy in a system sort of this size?
If you choose your fish wisely, you can actually double some of the fish in the cubes if you're going to keep everybody separate.
100 fish?
Yeah, probably about that.
In a 4x2 footprint.
4x2.
Imagine how many tanks, traditional style, up against the wall you would need to house 100 fish.
Well, or what you have is like what we saw in that Coral Beauty, where a Melanaris tore the fins up on that Coral Beauty. You can see it over here. And should a Melanaris bother the Coral Beauty? No, absolutely not. There shouldn't be an interaction problem. But fish can be jerks, and sometimes there is. You see, all the other Melanaris didn't bug anyone, but that Melanaris is a jerk. Why? I don't know.
Bad
but that means that this fish now we're going to be holding on to for a couple months while the fins recover.
Yeah, it's got to be suitable before you send it out.
It's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right? So we find that when we go to send an order out, you know, most of our stores are receptive to it, but we'll have to call the customer when we go to send it out, and we're like, hey, it had a tear in the fin, we're not sending it. Hey, we noticed it wasn't eating today, we don't know why, we're not sending it. right?
We talk about the 5-gallon calcium and alkalinity from Atoll. Patrick's making it here. It's the same stuff we're using to dose our entire store now. I've moved over from ESV to this. It's local, it's less expensive. I trust the guy, I trust what's going into it. I don't think I've ever had better ICP results since I switched to this. I can see all the levels are falling into place. The corals look fantastic, everything's growing, everything's where it's supposed to be. And I'd like to give, you know, credit where it's due. I think a lot of it is from this switch. So I can't say enough good things. Made here in Canada. And if you're looking to save money, you have a store, you know, no one's really using calcium reactors anymore. I would say the vast majority of us, we've moved on to this, can I call it balling method or a two-part?
No, it's a two-part.
Two-part.
I mean, technically it's a 3-part. The calcium does have, for every 10 ppm of calcium, there's 5 ppm of magnesium. But depending on your load, you may still need to dose magnesium as well. Right?
Mine has gone down a lot. My mag is probably like 30-40% less since I switched to this. But
we're effectively forcing people to keep their magnesium higher, where a lot of the people, you know, this is what we call the intermediate level when you're dosing calcium and alkalinity separate, but we're forcing them to make sure their mag stays on target and is a little bit buffered higher. Really the difference on Atoll versus anything else is we started with a similar ratio that everyone else had, where you're looking at like the ratio of the trace elements in a coral skeleton to the ratio of the calcium, and then we had 5 coral rows, 5 40-foot coral rows at the last shop. So then we started looking at all the other biological processes and what traces continually drop out. And so for 2 years, we were incrementally adjusting the levels of every single trace element across all 5 rows. And so we found the perfect balance. We're on a 40-foot row of just zoanthids. Maybe the chromium was slightly going up, but then on the acros, it was slightly down. So you have to find the balance where it doesn't matter what someone has in their tank, the levels aren't going to go too high or too low. And then we experimented across all the different salts, so it wouldn't matter what salt anyone is using, it's going to get you generally in the right range.
Nice. And if this is a little bit daunting, it's a 5-gallon bucket. Maybe you have a 5-gallon tank. It doesn't make sense. It also comes in a 1-gallon size, a 1 liter, a 500 ml. I'm pushing Patrick to make an even smaller, 250 ml. We'll see. The packaging doesn't make sense.
Packaging costs become a dominating factor at 250.
Too many Atoll products to even go over. We could do a whole video. We did one actually when he came by the store.
This is what most people are going to be using. The other one for new people is we have an all-in-one where the calcium is testable immediately, and then the alkalinity, it takes about 18 hours to 24 hours to be released.
Yeah.
And then so like we have a graph of it, and you'll see it slowly raising up, and it still contains all the same trace elements that the calcium does and the alkalinity does. However, the calcium and alkalinity being separate, we're able to...
Alrighty, we are on the livestock side. Let me just sort of walk through and show you how I shop when I come over here to Patrick's. I don't come as often because he moved to this new place. I'll kind of give you my insights and what I'm looking for. And I started over in this corner because I saw this beautiful starfish. Where did he go? Oh, he's so cute, but not reef safe. So in our store, we really only carry reef safe animals. If you ever buy from us a shrimp, crab, hermit, starfish, I don't want my staff to have to try and remember everything, so we just stick to reef safe animals. So, very, very pretty, but what are they going to eat? Oh, he's so cute!
Yeah.
I love him. He's not
probably everything.
This
right?
is one of my favorite things I miss when he was close by. It is kind of a drive for me, but it's like being...
So see this guy here?
Oh,
I can show you what he grows up to be.
Richard, you gave the starfish a name. You should... did you not want to name it Patrick because your name's Patrick? Oh no, Richard!
Richard!
Oh, big boy Richard! Wow. These grown men are 5 years old. Okay. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, this is not really going to be the most exciting tank. It's got a big ball of Chaeto, but I found a new macroalgae. This is what gets me, what's another word for horny? What can we say? I get very excited when I find any sort of new macro because they're hard to find. They're rare. Look at this ferny red. Patrick doesn't even know what it's called. We're gonna give it a name.
We're gonna give it a shot. You can see sometimes it doesn't work out.
So I don't have such good long-term success with these. Do you have any tips with the
deeper sand bed? They need deep sand bed. It's got to be older sands. Typically, as a store, what happens is you put them in too shallow. If you find sometimes urchins and stuff will come along and munch them. Yeah. So that's what happened here. Is this one got munched by an urchin. but you need a deeper sand bed. The Halameda is much easier. So the Halameda is like this.
Yeah, Halameda we have a ton growing now in the shop. This looks a little bit darker green than the one we have. Let me show you another part that I really enjoy is shopping for inverts. I like trying to find new and unusual shrimp. You know, sometimes Pat will get stuff in that he's not 100% sure, and it's just cool to see. I think this is...
We specifically target, if we don't know what the name is, and we're like, I don't recognize that name, let's get that.
Let's try it.
That's why we have a bunch of unique inverts that nobody else will have. That's how we found the Donald Duck shrimp on a reliable, regular basis. Like that's like a staple item for us. But it's actually really hard to get.
Someone just left us a 4-star review on Google, which I appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much. He said your inverts he found them quite expensive. We have to keep in mind just a couple things with our inverts. I'm buying them from a wholesaler, so I'm not buying them direct. So we want to leave room for our friend Patrick to also make some money. My store is small, I can't import the same way. And I'm also looking and hunting for these rare ones. So if you see a shrimp that's $60 or $80, it's because it may just be that one of one. It's not like something that you're just going to walk into any store and
we also
find.
Never push down pricing with our suppliers. So like when we're buying from divers, we believe in paying them basically the fair market value so that they can make a living. So that means that we're always going to pay them what's fair. We got to make sure that they're getting taken care of and that they're able to put food on the table, right?
This guy's coming home with me. You can bag it. This is
a frilly arrow. So here we go. With these cups, we can go like this.
There it goes. Look at that. It's like an arrow crab, but meets a sponge decorator. They grab stuff, they stick it to them. They have like almost this translucent appearance. It's just a really funky little crab that we don't see too often. So that's kind of the reason why I like coming here. Not just to connect with Pat and shoot the poop. Which we do as well. Codium. Very, very funky. There's really no macroalgae quite like it. So.
And then because we have a hydrolite on it, it's like really growing and putting out all these branches sideways.
I've never seen it do that. Well. That's pretty cool.
All right, that's new since we put the hydrolite on it.
Lots of fraggy frags to go through here. I saw a nice selection of zoanthids. So if you guys know anything about me, zoas is what really pulled me into the hobby. It's what keeps me going. I don't know what it is about them. I just love them. They're awesome little corals. Look at this.
He's got beautiful orange stripes.
You look angry. Oh, he's gonna come out and get me. This is a peacock?
No, this is an orange stripe. So he's around max size. He's got beautiful orange stripes across the back of the body.
So nice.
He's a very, very pretty one. These urchins are very cool, but they do tend to munch on each other.
Yeah.
So we keep them separate. Yeah, they're savages.
If you're gonna do
they need high calcium, so they need to be in a tank that's got coralline in there. And so it's not that they're trying to eat another urchin, but they want the calcium. And so typically in a macro tank or all of our tanks are very clean. There's no coralline algae because we scrape it down all the time. So these guys, they're going to get their calcium one way or another.
Oh, look at these beautiful fish. I didn't have luck with these the last time I tried, but they're so intriguing.
We feed these guys saltwater mollies. So we get freshwater mollies, we convert them over to salt, and then they get fed once per week. And you can tell they're not overly hungry right now because they're not putting out their little fishing rod at the front, their little lure to bob up and down.
Oh dear Lordawensis, Acan Lords, my God. These were grown actually from frags. I've watched these things over the past, how many years?
Polyps. Yeah, probably about 5 years now.
5 years. Incredible.
So this is our third generation on fragging of these. They were all cut to single head frags 3 times now. And a lot of these have actually grown into the rack where...
Oh crap. They're stuck.
They're literally underneath the rack as well.
Okay, there's too much to look here. You know what? I'm having trouble shooting the video and shopping at the same time. I was a little bit ambitious. I thought I could do both. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm just going to show you this cool new atoll product you're going to see soon in our store that holds some of the Tangalicious, and do some shopping and you'll see some of these beautiful corals and stuff in the store. I want to say thanks to Pat for taking the time out of your day to talk to us, teach us about the fish keeping ways. And hopefully, I will be in Reef Palooza for sure in Orlando. Patrick will be there too. Maybe you meet both of us. You can ask him some more fishy questions, maybe dosing, atoll, anything you want to know. He's really, one thing I love and admire about Patrick is he just shares. You know, there's no secrets. He just wants to, he can talk about this stuff all day.
We could be filming non-stop.
You guys think I talk a lot? Me? This guy is like next level. Anyways, we'll see you on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.